right side of the green and spun to the left. Kept on getting better, and it dropped. Probably like, what, 20 feet?
Oh my god,
So,
it rolled forever.
It rolled forever.
Right at
All right, on today's episode, we welcome our special guest. He is Shawn Rathgaber. He's a lieutenant sergeant? Sergeant here at Westerly Police. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for joining the show. It's going to be a lot of fun to, talk about your background in golf. So let's get into it. How did you get into golf?
Honestly, really late in my life. I was a big baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
And freshman year of high school, said let's try out for it. My dad took me to Walmart, bought a Spalding Molitor, all in one set, driver, wedges, bag, maybe for like a couple $100. He gave me my only pretty much lessons, just him. We hit some balls at the old Weekapaw Golf Club.
Yep.
When it was open to the public, and went out for the team, fell in love with it, made it. Initially, I was thinking just a couple free rounds of golf at Winnipeg. So fell in love with it, and then played through high school into college, and still playing today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. So another prodigy of Coach K.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
Actually, Coach K he started towards the end, I think junior, senior year. So Darren Mansfield.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Was the coach when I got on. Darren's a great guy. I still play with his brother, Shawn. I know the whole Mansfield family. So So I actually saw him the other day, actually a couple weeks ago, Darren. So he's good. But yeah, no, just my dad pretty much taught me everything I know about the golf swing. I never really got lessons. And then, when I started playing, I fell in love with it. Got a job at Winnipeg as a cart boy. And then, instead of being down on the beach in the summer, it was playing 18 to 36 holes and working in the pro shop as a cart boy. I met some of my best friends, my best man in my wedding. I mean, so, that place is my home. I'm not there anymore.
Yep.
So Darren Mansfield was the head coach. And I think Gary started probably junior year.
Okay.
So junior, senior year. So yeah.
Was there a particular person that you looked up to in the game while you were when you started and while you were playing?
So I got to do some caddying for Pat Lyons and Mark Brancato.
Yep.
So they were good amateur players who would help me out. Kirk Strong, who was the pro at Winnipeg, he helped me with little things. And then, obviously, once Tiger came along, you're following him, seeing what he's doing for the game and what he changed. I know that when I went to go play in college, before I got to Central Connecticut where I played, they didn't have a weightlifting program. Mm-hmm. And my class was the first class that they started implementing a weightlifting program for golfers. And, some people are looking at us like, you guys are golfers. What are you doing in here? And, obviously the game's changed, and, it's a big part of the game now.
Huge part. I think that's where we always talk about it, how the game is transcending into being more athletic and not being more of a sporting venue as well, instead of being kind of like a country club atmosphere, where I think it's good for the game, and I think it allows the youth to get into it at a younger age, for sure.
Yeah, like Scottsdale.
Right.
Yeah. That's not a country club atmosphere. That's a stadium atmosphere, which makes it so cool. Definitely would love to get out to that tournament sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, did you know they're putting in like a gambling too? Like they're putting in like a full
sports book.
Oh, really?
I
didn't know that.
Yeah, right into it. So it would be more than just a experience down there. It's going to be gambling and everything.
Yeah.
Usually there's gambling when there's golf.
Yeah.
We know that with a couple of the guys we play with.
Uh-huh.
I learned gambling games like I never knew. There's so many different things. My favorite being Lakes, Rakes, and Snakes.
Yeah,
except for the 18th. We play this betting game, and for some reason we get to the 18th and at Lake of Isles, and there's a bunker right in the middle of the fairway, and guess who finds that thing every single time? And usually it's when I'm trying to play smart and hitting an iron or something like that, so now I just hit driver and fade over it and take it out of play. I lost a lot of money. Ray Allen took a lot of my money that one day.
Can you explain to the viewers what Lakes, Rakes, and Snakes actually is?
So I don't know how many people do it, but at Lake, one of our guys got us started in it where if you hit the ball in a sand trap, a hazard, we do a 3-putt, you add, it adds up basically. So say if you're doing $1 for each one, if you're on the first tee and you're the first one to hit it, you hit it in the trap, it's to you for $1. Next person gets up, hits it in the water, it's to them for $2. And it just keeps on going. You can do a 6-hole, 9-hole, or 18 breakup. So I mean, you know, you get to 18 and you know you have 50 of them, $50 a guy. He's got to pay out. You know, there's a little pressure there, so you can break it up. Most of the time we do 6 or 9, and then some guys might say, you know what, let's bring it up a little bit and purposely put a few balls out or something and try to get the money at the end. So I mean, it all depends. It's fun, you know, depending on the dollar amount you're doing it for. Sometimes it can be a little stressful.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But yeah, I mean, so it's a fun competitive little game that we play.
Do you guys take credit card?
Thank God for Venmo. Yeah. I don't carry a lot of cash around me. I'm a credit card guy, so but. Yeah, no, it's a fun game. It just adds a little bit to it, and, you know, it's friendly, and, you know, we would, you know, I'd win one week, he'd win, well, he didn't win as much, but, you know, so it's good. It's a good fun. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's it like to play with Ray and have that pressure against him?
Ray Allen's a great player.
Yeah.
You know, I like to say I hit a pretty long ball, and he's bombing it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you know, he's a nice guy, laid back. We got to play with him quite a bit when COVID was going on because he was spending a lot more time up here in his Connecticut home. So it was fun. We've had the opportunity to play with a couple celebrities. So, you know, Ray's a good player, good guy. Obviously, being a Celtic, you know, that's cool too. So,
yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. It's funny that he takes your money though. You're like, it's like after all the money that he's made.
Well, that's the thing. You're like standing there with this guy that, you know, is worth God knows how much. He's now the 3-point record. You know, he was the 3-point record holder, and you know, so it's pretty cool to just say, hey, you know, and you kind of you got to balance that line between being friendly and also like, hey, can I get a picture with you? You don't, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he's cool, takes pictures with you, but I didn't like want to, you know, ask for his autograph or talk too much about that stuff. I want to have a friendly game, BS about normal things that I would do with my friends instead of always just asking like questions about basketball, because he probably doesn't want to do that because he does it enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know,
it's just kind of wants to chill out and hang out and be one of the guys, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, when you played at Central Connecticut, what was your experience like playing at Central and like getting like, you know, bringing in that weightlifting program too?
So Central was a great experience. It was actually my safety school for criminal justice. I didn't really know if that's where I was going to go. The other schools I was looking at were all for the professional golf management, the PGM program. So Coastal Carolina Methodist. I got accepted to all those schools, but ultimately what I looked at is, do I want golf to be a hobby or a profession?
Right.
And you know, you can be a teaching pro and get in a small club and be spending the whole time in the pro shop. I kind of saw it. Then you can get into the right club and have a great career and just teach all day. I just decided, you know what, I didn't want to do that. I wanted golf to be a pleasure, and I went to Central Connecticut. I walked on. I got hooked up with Ed Badikowski, who was the coach at the time. Tried out, made the team. Got to travel. Our first year, we won our conference championship, Northeast Conference Championship, so that was cool. It was a fun experience. Got to travel, played down in Temple, George Washington. It was a cool experience. The weightlifting program wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. Our schedules were kind of crazy with classes, and then we had to do a lot of traveling to play. Our practice facility was in Simsbury, so it was a 30-minute drive. So you're taking morning classes, then you're doing the drive out there, you're practicing, then you're playing your 18 holes, and then usually practicing again. Jeez. So by the time you get back, you know, you're getting food. By the time the dining hall is pretty much closed at that point, so a lot of times you're eating out. And, so the weightlifting program wasn't as, it was their first time that they were ever really doing it, and they were trying it out. And it wasn't the best program in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ironed it out after I left, but now that they actually did away with the program, so they won the conference championship like a few years in the last like 5 years, and they did away with the program. Budget cuts, golf doesn't bring any money.
Yeah, right.
So unfortunately, they're gonna put the money towards basketball and football, where they make some money. Golf, you're just, the guys are traveling, you're not bringing any money. So, but it was sad to see the program leave because it was a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's tough.
We rivaled with URI and UConn, Yale. So we were one of those top teams in Northeast.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that's tough to see that.
Yeah.
Very tough. It's awesome that you got to experience it while it lasted.
Yeah.
I only did 2 years, and then it was like, okay, I started working full time while going to school full time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to balance the thing of I didn't want to have a lot of debt.
Yeah, understandable.
When I graduated college, and I've always been a hard worker. I've always worked crazy hours, and that's the way I was raised. My dad always worked, so. It's just the way I was.
Yeah, definitely.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
The whole debt thing is
not
fun.
I know it all too well.
I graduated 4 years with minor scholarships and only owed $16,000. So,
wow, that's crazy.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
If I had went to Coastal, it was like 50 something a year.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that place was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I had access to if I went there with the PGM program, access to every course in Myrtle Beach.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, Methodist had its own golf course that just the golf team and the PGM members played.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I didn't there was one thing I'll never forget about that campus. One of the reasons why I didn't want to go there, they were like a top Division III school at the time. Would have never have made the team, but that school had a speed bump about every 100 feet.
Really?
The worst thing ever. We're driving around with my parents, and I'll forever remember those speed bumps at Methodist.
Going like this.
Fayetteville, North Carolina. That was the worst. That's a weird thing, but it's just one of those things where that's what I remember from that school.
Yeah. That's a huge turn on.
Yeah, that is.
I'm like, geez, my car's gonna get beat up. I was driving a piece of crap at the time.
You have to buy a new car, buy a new suspension.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god,
that's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us about your experience with President Donald Trump, and also about Smoltz.
Yeah. Me and you got that opportunity. We get a group text one day saying, "Hey, y'all want to play with Donald Trump?" And I said something I probably can't say on the air. F off. And he's like, "No, I'm serious." And we had already had this. We were already playing with Smoltz. We had a couple day trip playing down south. And New Jersey area. And I said, "Yeah, of course." I had always wanted to play with Smoltz. One of our good buddies, Dan Wyman, plays with him all the time. He's a member of the club down in the Atlanta area. We played with John the first day. Essex.
Clocks cleaned.
Essex. I had work being done at my house or something, I can't remember, and so my phone's blowing up, one issue after another issue, so I'm stressing about this stuff. I'm away. I'm trying to have fun playing golf with John Smoltz, playing like crap. I started off the round, I couldn't find a fairway, couldn't hit a shot. Mentally I'm not in it. I'm supposed to be having this fun experience. And finally I was like, to my workers, I was like, do whatever you got to do, deal with the issues, and, finished off the round better, but definitely lost a little bit of money. And that was funny. He's like, all right, go out to the steakhouse. It was right down the road from the hotel, because he had to go do a broadcast for the MLB network, right?
Oh, wow.
So we go to this really nice steakhouse, and we're sitting there having drinks. And all of a sudden, on the TVs in the bar, there's John Smoltz talking with Pedro. Was it Pedro?
I think so,
it was Pedro Martinez.
Oh my god! So
we're watching him do that, and I don't know, 2 hours later, he's sitting having dinner with us.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
So John's an awesome guy, such a nice guy, and an unbelievable player.
Really?
I mean, when I say unbelievable, like legit. We hung out with him the rest of the night. Went to the hotel. Of course, guys were playing card games, and they were playing Chinese poker. I don't even know. So we were just watching. Good conversation, and then the next day, we got to go to Trump Bedminster. You pull into the country club. There's a car blocking, Secret Service car blocking the entrance, and you go in, you're like, yeah, playing with John Smoltz.
Yeah.
I think was what I said, right?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, why don't you just say you're playing with Donald Trump? And I'm like, I don't know, because I'm trying not to be that guy, you know? And so we go down the long road, you know, and, you know, pull up and get our stuff out and go in the clubhouse. We're waiting for them, and they say, all right, you can go down to the clubhouse, go down to the driving range. You go down and you see Secret Service, cart after cart, a circle, like guys with duffel bags and things on their carts, and it's a little intimidating.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was
you know,
say, yeah.
I mean, and you know, he introduces us, and you know, John introduces me, and he says he's a sergeant down in Rhode Island. So, you know, President Trump's like, oh, awesome, shakes my hand. He's like, I love my guys in blue.
Yeah.
You know, he's always supported law enforcement. And we had a great day. I mean, whether you like him or not, he was fun. We didn't talk a lot of politics. He shared a couple stories. We played golf. We had a fun match. And we had a lot of fun. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. He hits the ball really well.
He really does.
Really well for 76 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think he was at the time. You know, we had a good match. We all played pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. You know, played in a lot of tournaments, played in college. That first tee shot was probably as nervous as I could be. You know, he got up, striked one right down the middle, and you know, I can't remember which order I went in, but you know, it was, you know, luckily I hit it down the middle, hit a good shot, and but yeah, I mean, he loves his Cokes. He's got the old school glass small bottle of Cokes. He's got tons of them. He drinks like 12 a round or something at least. And he loves his candy bar.
Yeah.
He's got the thing on the cart and the cooler, and he's got second hole. He's like, you guys want a candy bar? Like, you know, so he loves
straight Hershey bar.
Yeah, straight Hershey.
Really?
So he loves his Hershey and he loves his Cokes. He doesn't drink alcohol when he plays. He doesn't bet. We had a little friendly team match that we actually had a 5-some, so it was Smoltz, and he wanted Smoltz because they're friends.
Yeah.
Against me, Austin, and Dan. I can't disclose the results of that match. But yeah, no, it was cool. You know, you got Secret Service surrounding you. You got, you know, a buffer hole. You got one guy that kind of stays close to him. I had a flag on my golf bag, an American flag with a thin blue line on it. So one of the guys like, you're on the job. That's a term we use in law enforcement. I said, yeah. So he talked to me a little bit. So I asked him what they had in their bags and stuff, which was
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So it gets more relaxed as you're going, but that was actually we're playing. I think we were putting, and all of a sudden you see like these golf carts are the fastest golf carts I've ever been on, and his is like 10 times faster than ours.
Yeah.
You know, and we see like 3 golf carts coming over like the hill and the fairway and coming in fast, and we're like, my thought was, oh man, something's wrong, something's going on, he's got to go do something, and this round's going to end. And they pull him over to the side away from us and give him a phone, and he's talking on the phone and stuff. So we're just all like just putting around waiting. He comes back and he's like, I got some bad news, and that was the day that the Marines got killed in Afghanistan in 13.
Geez. Yeah.
So we pretty much knew before I think anybody else did.
Yeah.
So that was, you know, kind of a somber moment in the situation, you know, where, you know, we're having fun, and now you have, you know, the members of the military dying. You know, so that kind of, you know.
That's yeah.
So he went a little political after that for a minute. Yeah. Kind of said that would have happened if he was in the office, but you know, we went back to golf. You know, we again, you're afraid to like ask for pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the caddy, he has his own caddy, and then we have our own caddy. And the caddy's like, hey, he's having a lot of fun with you guys, because you know a lot of people play and they're asking for favors or business partners or something like that. We're just guys who love golf and want to play golf.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah, and we were just having a good time. And so the caddy's like, yeah, he's really having fun and stuff like that. He's like, just on 18, give me your cell phone. I'll take a group picture of you guys. I'm like, awesome, you know, so we could document the day. And so he did that, and we're walking off. And I'm like, can I get a selfie with you? Nobody else asked. I had to. What was I, you know? And he's like, of course. And so I was the only one in the group to get a selfie with him. So that was pretty cool. But we went back and we had lunch. What do we had? Like burgers and hot dogs and
huge
fries.
tray
We went to the locker room and
awesome.
so he hung out with us and I had brought some patches with me. We do a patch a month. We started a patch program at work and different charities and stuff like that. So we had an American flag patch for 4th of July for that month for veterans, and then we had a law enforcement patch for May. So he signed a couple patches for me.
That's awesome.
So I've got them. So yeah, I've got like a flag, some patches, scorecard and stuff. So I've been saying I got to put together like something to put on the wall to document the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
My mom's not a fan, but she thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one of those things.
So,
yeah.
I made a post on Facebook. I'm sorry if I'm gonna lose some friends because of this, but so it was cool. I'd love to do it again, to be honest with you. So we got to get Dan on that.
yeah, I know it. It was awesome.
Even just playing with Smoltz, I mean, just
that's gonna be cool.
Down to earth. Yeah, I mean, I that's when I was playing baseball a lot, and the Braves were dominating with that pitching rotation that they had with Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux. It was just you don't see stuff like that anymore with how powerful those guys were and how dominating that threesome was for baseball. Was just unbelievable. I wasn't a Braves fan, but you just sit there and awe of how those guys played. So
were you like nervous at all if you like shanked the ball and it like came at the president? Were you afraid there would have been like an assassination attempt or Secret Service that came out?
I wasn't so much worried about that, but I never really thought about like shanking. I mean, I'm a pretty good golfer. I used to be better back in the day. I don't get to play as much now, but I never really thought about shanking or hitting off a tree and taking out the president. I never thought of it like that. I guess that's interesting when you think about it like that. So
that's funny. There's two things that I want you to share about that day. First, on the second hole, what happened on the second hole with the caddy. And then secondly, about how there are zero limitations when it comes to where the carts go.
So the first one. There's been books written about President Trump's golf game.
Mind you, he is legit probably a 7-8 handicap.
Yeah,
he hits it good.
He hits it really well, really far for his age. But I'll say he gets a little help.
Really?
A lot of help.
Is this going to get taken off of YouTube?
That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into all the details. I don't want to get red flagged by the Secret Service and them knocking on my boss's door Monday morning. So enough on one. And what was the second question?
The second one, where like his limitations as far as
he drives right. Yeah, I was a little stunned. I mean,
he driving on the green or anything?
Pretty much.
He's this close.
Yeah,
to the green,
he's an inch off the green.
and he's on tee boxes.
Yeah, tee box. Yeah. He definitely stretches the limits of what should be done in a golf course, but you see his demeanor on TV when he was president and stuff like that, and sure, he's cocky.
Yeah.
I think a leader needs to have a little of that. I don't want to get into too much politics on this show, but I can see how some people don't like him, but I will say that multiple times he made reference to he loves his country. He loves law enforcement and the military and first responders and the people who keep us safe. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So it's a tough time for law enforcement. So to have somebody's support is, refreshing.
Yeah. So when you saw him like drive around, maybe close up to the green, did you guys try that or like?
Nope.
No. I mean, we were close to tee boxes. We definitely pushed our own limits. But not as close as him. But also, it made it feel like this is just a normal thing. Like it made it cool.
Yeah.
It made it feel like it was just another round of golf with our buddies wherever we were. So I thought it was cool. I mean, It's his course. He can do whatever.
Yeah,
he wants
I mean,
as
just
far as
driving
I'm
a cart
concerned,
up on
you
it.
know?
I mean, it's grass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
the mowers go up there. It's the
Yeah.
same difference
Right.
as far as I'm concerned. So I feel like some people make it seem like it's such a
Big deal.
negative, and a big deal where it doesn't really matter as long as you're not doing donuts in on the tee box or doing anything, turning sharply and digging up the grass.
Yeah, if the course isn't soaked, like
I thought it was cool. I thought it was super cool, and just the whole day was unbelievable.
If you own your own course, I mean,
he was showing us because they were supposed to have the PGA, was it there?
Yeah.
So they were supposed to have the PGA, but with everything going on and stuff, they and then so they were doing a remodeling a par 3 on the backside, I think. So we stopped playing and. There were there were workers there, and they're setting up the new tee boxes. So he took us on a tour of what the plan was for the hole and thought and stuff like that, because they ended up having one of the live tournaments there. I think the final live tournament or one of the last live tournaments was there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So a gorgeous golf course. I'd love to go back and play. You know, it's always tougher when you don't, first time on a course.
Yeah.
You know, you have some missed clubs and stuff, but it was an unbelievable day. I mean, I didn't even think of, you have Secret Service vans, the Suburbans following you around.
Oh my God.
So, so I took a picture. I was on a tee box and, 200, 300 yards out maybe to the right, there's a Suburban sitting out there.
Oh my God.
And then when some of the holes run adjacent to a road, when you get to play those holes, they block off the road. With a couple of Suburbans.
Yeah.
So was there anyone else on the course too, or is it just you guys? Or was there anyone like?
There were other guys. Yeah. I think we had a buffer.
Okay, I was
at
gonna
least
say
a few holes.
Yeah.
We even started on the back.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
President Trump was a little bit late, so we, instead of going off 1, we went off 10.
Yeah.
Which gave us like a 4 or 5 hole buffer.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Damn.
I mean, when we stopped and he had to take that call, I mean, we didn't hold anybody up or anything like that.
That's what I was kind of curious. If he was showing you around, I didn't know.
But it was cool because, obviously he was upset about the Marines and stuff like that, and he had his chief of staff, I'm guessing, his social media person. They were the other people that were in the cart, and he wants to do his knee-jerk reaction, which we all see his tweets and stuff like that before he was taken off, and Smoltz calmed them down.
Really?
One of the workers, one of the ladies that came over was like, hey, you need to talk him off. Like, don't make it about Biden and the elections. Make it about, losing Americans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And paying respect and, wishing the families, the best and stuff like that. So, there was a brief conversation with them, and I think whatever he released that day was definitely changed because of John Smoltz and their friendship.
Yeah. That's good.
And, so, that was pretty cool to see how, Smoltz could kind of had that conversation and the result.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow, that must have been a wild time. That's a once in a lifetime experience. And that's gotta be.
There's not many kids from Westerly that could say they played with the president.
No, definitely not. I think only you two.
Yeah.
I think I'm sitting in the same room.
Yeah,
2 people.
So that was cool.
Say that. So you're a member at Lake too, right?
Yep. I took some time off from golf, working. I have a 6-year-old, so life gets in its way of golf. So I was just playing mostly tournaments. I play here and there. Then one of my other buddies joined Lake. He joined Lake. I went over, played, fell in love, and said, what? Well, I work hard. I got to be able to play hard. And I really missed the game of golf and the camaraderie, playing with the guys, stuff like that. And I said, what? Family's first, but I can still have golf.
Yeah.
So I went home, had a smirk on my face. When I sat down at the dinner table, I was married at the time, and my wife looks at me and she's like, let me guess, you want to join? Yeah, honey. Yeah. So I joined. Nice. And so about 5 years ago, it's a gorgeous facility.
Yeah.
I think the thing I like about it is it's a test. Winnapaug, where I grew up, it's a short course. I maybe use my driver once or twice there. We play the blacks occasionally at Lake. We mostly play the goals. The blacks, what, 70?
3.
Yeah, 73, 7400. The carries on some of the holes, 260.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have your A game on, you're going to shoot 90.
Yeah.
So from gold, it's still a tough track, still some good carries, and, it's a fun track. So I don't play as much as I wish I did. I only think I turned in like 28, 30 rounds last year. So I said I was going to start playing more, but summertime's our busy time for work, and it's tough. And, but my daughter loves going down there. We'll take her cart out at night and drive around, play a few holes. She loves putting. So, just that experience with my girlfriend, we go down there, we'll have dinner or something like that. It's really cool. My daughter loves it. Hopefully she starts playing it. She hits it. She seems like she has a good time, but, she's still young. I don't want to push anything on her. But, might start lessons. So, golf for women especially, the scholarships, they don't get used enough. So, it'd be nice if she decided to go to college and could get a golf scholarship and save me a little bit of money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
What's your favorite hole out there? We'll say on the north and the south side.
Well, the north side, there's a hole that has my heart. You were there to witness my first and only hole in one.
This was.
It was just after I joined, and there was a member guest tournament on the south course, which is a private course. And so it was maybe the second or third time I played there. And we went out on the north. We had a morning tee time, so it was us two, Cheech Luzzy and Kyle James. And we're on 16. We had a match going. I don't remember what the status of the match was, but it was close, I think.
Yeah, all I know is this one shot.
So hole was playing like 180. I think I hit 8 irons downhill, par 3, and I hit an okay shot, but I typically play a right to left draw, and it pretty much went straight. It had a little turn to it. It hit the fringe on the right side of the green and spun to the left. Kept on getting better, and it dropped. Probably like, what, 20 feet?
Oh, my God.
So,
it rolled forever.
It rolled. Yes, we got this hole, and then it disappeared. And I jumped. I screamed like a schoolgirl. I threw the club. I'd run around. And so 16 on North has a spot in my heart. But my favorite hole, I like, I hate 9. It's that hole, even though it fits me with the right to left draw, I hate that hole. I like 12 is a good hole from the backs. I like 13 because it's a short little par 4, but if you play gold, occasionally rip the driver and put it in the neck. 18 is a fun hole because you can go for that if we've almost drove that. There's just some really good holes. I love 5 because it's a gorgeous view. The left side there's a bunker, and in the middle there's this shape of it's a turtle, and that's the logo for the members course.
Yeah, right.
So it's just it's a gorgeous course. You got 7 and 8 with the casino. You got a lot of wildlife there, and it's a nice place.
Yeah.
So
I played there a couple times. I remember one time I played one hole. You mentioned the wildlife. I was like a deer, like right at one of the one of the holes. You're like, oh, all right, yeah.
They'll eat out your palm out there.
Yeah. They're used to seeing the golfers, and you can. My daughter, that's one of the things she always looks for.
Yeah.
And then you got snakes.
Yep.
I don't like snakes.
Yeah.
There was, I think it was Rob Nardone had I think it was his cart, or somehow that it got, this snake started on one side of the cart, hanging down, went over the cart, down. It was huge. I got a picture somewhere on my phone, but they stopped in the bathrooms in between the 12th and the 4th, right? And they stopped to go in the bathroom, and they came on. This was huge. I mean, the thing was, I don't do snakes. Yeah. Spiders and snakes, no thank you. I'll run into a situation at work. I don't really care. Snakes, no. Spiders, no. I'm good, thanks. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome being a member there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have some good.
We're going to have to get Jeff out there this year.
Yeah, definitely. I play with Austin most of the time. He's one of my go-to guys there. We get to play in some tournaments together. Unfortunately, I haven't told him yet, but I'm probably not going to be able to play in the member this year. We're back-to-back winners, but I'm going to be
3 times.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. Unfortunately, I'm going away for my 40th. So my guy friends are taking me away.
Oh, nice.
So I hit the big 4-0 this year.
Oh, nice.
So we have a thing where we do a little guys trip. So they haven't told me exactly where I'm going, but the rumor is Vegas. So there won't be any golf played. It's not golf friends.
Yeah.
But, so there will be some drinking and just a good time.
Sounds like a good time.
I think they just released the calendar, and I think it's going to fall at the same time. So
man.
you might have to find a replacement this year.
All right, we'll do.
So
get Smoltz.
Try and hold it down.
Yeah. My back kind of gets heavy, so maybe somebody else
Wow. Wow. All right. I'll remember that next time.
Keep that in mind.
Our opponents.
Yeah. He's gonna get on one of those hot streaks where he makes 5 out of 6 holes. He just got birdies. He likes those hot streaks. I like them most of the time because he's my partner. So I don't mind them.
You don't want to be in the opposite end of that.
Yeah, that might be a little costly.
So you mentioned, like, going backwards a little bit. You mentioned about how you were gonna go the PGA route and then you decided to go the police officer route. What has been the biggest reward in that decision?
Obviously, being a first responder, I started off as in college. When I did my undergrad, I took an EMT class. Mm-hmm. I was basically looking at resume builders at that point. I had started volunteering at Westerly ambulance, driving the ambulance, doing some basic stuff. One of my buddies who he's a detective now in Stonington, Greg Howard, kind of got me looped into it. Mm-hmm. And he's a representative too now. I was like, let's build up the resume. I'm going the police route now. Let's try to get hired right away. And so I took an EMT class, started working as an EMT part-time. Then I got the opportunity to start working full-time on the weekends. So I did college in that, and that's why I kind of stopped playing golf. Making really good money in college as an EMT, working 2 days a week. 18-hour shifts, so essentially full-time. And building up that resume, and then graduated in May, got hired by actually South Kingstown, went to the academy, graduated the academy in March, and then after a couple months in South Kingstown, I got an opportunity to come to Westerly, where I'm from, a little more money. But I wanted to help my community. Everybody says, serve the community, and it could be a little cliche, but, I do like helping people. I've had, we've had everything in this town from the basic stuff to, the active shooter situation at, a few years ago at Babcock Village. Just being able to help people, try to make a difference, make the community safe for me and my family. There's definitely some ups and downs in the job. It can be fun, you get the adrenaline rush, but then, after that big call, there's that low, and, suicides is very popular in our job. Unfortunately, there's people you can talk to, but, unfortunately, we have some humor. We have to make humor of some situations, and we don't do it around people, but we do it amongst each other. It's very rewarding, still rewarding to this day. I'm glad I picked it. I could have done something in the computer field or golf and probably made a lot more money. But, I can't sit behind a desk. I mean, my position now, I sit behind a desk mostly. But I like being out on the road and interacting with the community and, just nice weather, just driving around with the windows down.
It's
just being outside. I like that. The beaches bring a lot of excitement in the summer. We're busier in the summer, but then off season, we stay busy downtown. This area's, the bar scene is hopping pretty good on the weekends, and drinking is a problem. Everybody gets a couple beers in them, and they want to fight the world.
Feel like Superman.
I wouldn't. I'm very happy with the choice I made to go in this field. Honestly, if I was to start now, it'd be a lot different. Policing's changed a lot. I start my 18th year with Westerly in May. So a lot of changes, some good and some bad.
Well, we appreciate your service, and thank you for everything you do for our town and keeping us safe. Obviously, we know
Appreciate
there's a
that.
lot that goes on, and appreciate you doing that. So
Appreciate that.
But yeah, let's cut a word to our sponsor, and then we'll just jump into sports after this.
Sounds good.
Talk some more golf.
Yeah.
Welcome to Vintage Cigar Lounge, the place where you escape to, not from. A place where your cigar options are limitless. A place where friends come together and bond over the finest cigars and drinks. A place where your selected few can retreat to and enjoy premium cigars, great conversation, and your liquor of choice within the privacy of our private rooms. Looking for a place to escape to? Our doors are always open.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry.
Back from our word from our sponsor again. Thanks to Vintage again for always having us, and appreciate the shout out on the last episode of their podcast as well too.
Yes, thank you very much.
Really cool. Before we get into sports talk, I forgot to ask in the beginning, like I always do. Just kind of jump into it. But what's everyone smoking today?
Fat Bottom Betty. That's my go-to. I like it's a little sweet. Connecticut wrapper, I believe it is. This is what I smoke when I smoke, and yeah, this is my choice.
Yep, I'm gonna second that right now. Shawn actually got me into it, and yeah, like you said, it's sweet. I like it, so this is my go-to as well.
I think I have a Fat Bottom Betty too. The leatherwood, leather rose.
Yes,
that's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got a nice vanilla taste to it.
Yep.
Yeah. I switched up today, so yeah.
No
went with the flavor.
Christophs.
Yeah. So everyone goes back that way. I was like, all right, I'll try it out for once. But let's get into sports. Obviously, Tiger Woods playing well at the Genesis. First time in a long time. So what is he, like 3 under today? We're here on Sunday, so he's wearing the Sunday red today, but he's 3 under right now. I mean, what are your thoughts on Tiger coming back and being able to play at the level he's playing at?
I think it's awesome. I think he would probably be in the top 3 right now if he was making putts.
Yeah.
I mean, his putter let him down. I got to watch a little bit yesterday. I've watched a little of it through the 3 days. It's just great. I mean, he's grown he's all I knew.
Yeah.
I started following golf because of Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Whether he's the GOAT, Jack Nicklaus. I mean, I'm always, with all sports, I don't think you can say there's the greatest of all time because it's different eras.
Generation.
You know, this whole talk now with LeBron James, not to get sidetracked, it was different when Michael Jordan was playing.
Yes.
You know, it's different now. It was different Kareem. So I think, it's tough to say Jack Nicklaus was the best player in his generation. Tiger Woods in his generation. Now there's going to be another generation. I mean, golf's just in a great place right now with these young guys.
Right, yeah.
There's so many guys that can come out and win a tournament. It's not just Phil and Tiger like it was for a little while, or David Duval and Ernie Els.
Yeah.
There was only a few.
Yeah.
Now it's like 20 people can come out, and then you might get a no name that might come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, as far as Tiger this week, I mean, he's walked it's Sunday. He hasn't played yet, but he's walked 4 straight days with the with Wednesday's Pro-Am, right?
Yeah.
So if he can walk 5 straight days, he always says his hands are just like they were when he started, right? So if his hands are good and he's able to walk for a whole tournament, he's going to be in contention, and he's going to make sure that he can win any tournament that he enters. And I think that it's scary for the rest of the field going into the Masters if he has a good day today after he had a great day yesterday with 5 under, right?
Yeah.
He was the second in the field yesterday. I think there was a 6 under and then a couple 5 unders, and he was there.
Yeah.
So going into the Masters, if he can walk it, he's gonna be there on Sunday. I think.
Oh yeah.
He loves that place, and he can just kind of carve it around anywhere.
I actually think he might win it, to be honest with you.
I
I think
would
if I
love
call
that.
my shot right now, but I think he might win it. I don't know. He's just, like you said, he's played well. I mean, his putter has let him down. He's had some great shots on the green and just can't get the putts. There's a couple putts that I watched where I was like, geez, what are you doing? But it is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't be able to make that, but either way. But he's just he's so good, and it's so nice. It's so great to see him back. But it brings back a lot of energy and something to look forward to on Sundays. I mean, it's fun. It's always great to see Tiger back.
And it's crazy to see him out driving.
I know.
Yeah.
JT. Ripping that little cut.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That
so
baby
nice.
feed that he had yesterday, that he almost made the albatross.
Yeah.
downhill, in the rough, kind of, just to do that. And, yeah, he got a great bounce, and, we all know that that's part of the game is bounces and stuff like that. But that, it was an unbelievable shot. So it's, he's still got to get the feel back. We all know that when you take time off, one of the first things that, is the toughest thing to come back is that short game, the feel around the greens. I know that's where I struggle the most because I don't play a lot.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
The atmosphere when he's in the field, he just completely moves the needle to this day, which is insane to think about.
It's so different, and it's nuts. And he's I think you kind of touched on it, but he's hitting shots like stinger shots that you would hit, like these create It's so great to see him back out there. I get pumped up. I'll watch golf on a Thursday because of him, because I want to watch his field. I'll flip on his premier team and I'll just watch his group.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. Like you said, a lot of guys might not watch golf on Thursday.
Yeah.
So many more guys watch golf on Thursday.
Right.
That first tee to everything else. Obviously the coverage has been expanded with ESPN Plus and all that stuff because of Tiger playing, and that's a dream threesome. That's so cool that they're able to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
To watch the camaraderie, and obviously some of that made the news.
Yeah.
Which, it's ridiculous in my opinion. But, they're buddies. They're joking around. We all joke around about certain things, and but yeah, it's great, and I hope he is able to continue playing at a high level.
Yeah. And you got Homa and Ram leading the tournament, and Homa's playing great golf too right now too.
God.
And Ram is. I was just talking to someone out there, and I was just saying Ram's been unbelievable. And the top 3, top 4 or 5 finishes in the last few tournaments that he's been in, and just playing unbelievable golf. But I'm glad I like Max Homa. I'm glad to see he's kind of
such a good guy.
Get out there too.
And his career path, to get, he's been one of the top golfers the past 3-4 years. He's won close to the most amount of tournaments in that span, and for him to finally get over the hump and keep his card, and then now he's just winning and in contention all the time. Plus, I think we talked about it last week. Maybe it always helps. I think the whole roast my swing type thing. I think it kind of gave him a little bit of connection with the fan base. So when he gets to these tournaments, it's not so serious.
Yeah. Well, he's always on you're wearing a Barstool Golf, but he's always on Part of My Take or something and they just make fun of him. They're always putting him down. And he just goes with it. He just doesn't care, and they obviously they love him, but they're just they're oh no, we got to keep Max in check, so we just got to keep being Max, you missed that putt, you suck. Something like that. So they'll do stuff to him, but he just doesn't care. He just wants to be it just seems like one of the guys and stuff like that. But have you guys watched Full Swing, the documentary on Netflix about the golf and everything?
On the 3rd episode. I've been
Yeah.
working a lot and haven't had the chance to sit down and watch the whole thing. I plan on binge watching it. It's awesome. This show is it's set on there's an F1 show on Netflix too. Now I'm not a big racing guy, but I was bored one night and turned it on, and I fell in love with that show. And I actually sometimes follow F1 now because you see the backstory, you see what goes into, you think, okay, these guys drive race cars. These guys are some of the most fit and talented athletes in the world because of the speeds that they're going at. They drive, so it's pretty cool to see the backstory and behind scenes. And I'm hoping to watch some of it today after golf, maybe.
I started it too. I'm on the 4th episode, I think. And a little fun fact, one of the producers of it, his father, I've gotten kind of close with because he golfs at Winnapogue.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna shout out Tim Wilson. He's a great guy. He does business in New York, but he comes here. He started kind of vacationing here, and I think he might be full time here now. But he told me that his son is the guy that's in the car with Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth and on the planes and actually filming what's going on, which is awesome.
That's crazy.
And it gives you another perspective of how life is that you don't see the other side of it. You just see them on TV, but this goes in depth, and it's cool to see how they're betting, and it's cool to see the different stories within the story. So I think it's awesome. It's definitely a recommendation to watch for anyone.
For sure. But it's also what we talked about too. I think it's taking golf to another level of popularity. you mentioned the F1 series, which I was going to say too, is like that brought a lot more popularity to people to watch F1 because, like you said, you get in the backstory.
It worked for me.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I watched a couple because I'm like, oh wow, they checked out the documentary. So I think it's another thing for golf, and the hell of a time when they started filming because the Live thing was coming out at the same time, so they had that drama. Yeah, that's like they knew it. They must have knew, but the drama of that and everything. So it's kind of like a cool aspect of just getting to see both sides of it because it's just not PGA. You get to see the Live guys too as well. But yeah, I think it's going to do wonders for the popularity for golf as well too. Add to that popularity for people who just check out the documentary. Yeah. But another news, a local guy from Rhode Island just was named the head coach of the Boston Celtics, and it's crazy to see that, and good news for him, and excited for him for what he's doing with that team, and he's kind of got the Bill Belichick attitude with everything. But what do you guys think about Joe being able to,
well deserved. That team. I mean, that team is the deepest team I think I've ever seen. They're facing a lot of injuries right now. I was watching the Milwaukee game the other night, which unfortunately I didn't pull out. But, I mean, to compete against one of the best teams in the league with all pretty much your top 4 guys for the most part down, the depth, they were up by 6 points in overtime at one point, and they just couldn't close it out. But to see, the depth of that team, I mean, it's a fun, exciting time. Tatum obviously is just all world. But good coaching, obviously helps that situation out, and I'm hoping they go long.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah,
so. It'll be cool to see him tonight in the All-Star game too. Like for him to step in as an interim with what happened, and then now be named the actual head coach, is just a testament of how well of a coach he actually is. He gets his shot, and he doesn't. They don't miss a beat, right? They lose the finals, and then they come back and they're number 1 in the East, and it's like nothing changed, which is, I think it's a huge testament to how they are as an organization.
Right, and how well they're playing too. How well I think he got them to move the ball a lot better compared to like last year. Last year, it felt like you saw 2 different Celtics teams. You saw the one-on-one Celtics that would, just be hero ball, and then there was the Celtics that like moved the basketball very well, and I got to see 2 different teams. But this year it's just been like steady Eddie the whole way, like moving the basketball, looking for wide open shots. And like you said, that team that played against the Milwaukee Bucks and how well they played against, they had their big 3, which was back, and then they were on a 9-game winning streak, and they were competing with them it was
and Holiday was set records for his career record with threes and stuff, and put up 40 something 42 or something like that. I mean, they came out on top, but I mean, to see the team battle in such a critical game, because that was a tiebreaker game, you know. So now if they have the same record, they're down 2-1, they lose that number 1 seed, which is a big thing. We all know home court advantage is big in sports, especially Boston fans. To see the fight that night, I was impressed.
Yeah, playing good basketball. Is there any other sports topics you want to cover? PC won. They beat Villanova.
Boston stayed hot. They won again. The Bruins.
The Bruins won again.
6-2.
They're another team too. That's quite unbelievable.
It's a great time for Boston fans, with the exception of the Patriots. But
the Red Sox at some point.
Yeah, the Red Sox too.
Hopefully they get it together this year.
I don't know about that. The off season hasn't been that impressive. The Bruins are on fire, and they're going to make a deep run, I think, too. So it'd be really nice to see both those teams make it deep, maybe even bring home a championship. But it's fun to watch. I watch a lot more, now than I used to. When the kid goes down, I get to turn the games on now. It's good. It's a good time for Boston sports for the most part.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's all the sports talk. I think that's everything. Shawn, thank you so much for coming on the show. Great stories, man. It's cool to hear some backstories, and hopefully this doesn't get taken down.
I went easy on Austin. I don't know how many times I beat him.
Stuff
like that, but,
Sure. It's going to be a rough year for you.
Well, hopefully I get to play a lot more, and I'm going to make it a priority. Got those new clubs last year, so you're getting your new club, so yeah. See.
It's definitely gonna be a long year for you.
Yeah,
it's all right.
I don't mind making you dig deep into those pockets.
That's awesome.
We'll see.
Well, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.